All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andres Diaz. Me and Will are back again for another spectacular Marvel Plus talk on Moon Knight, title Episode 3, The Friendly Type. Will, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Anyway, happy Easter. I hope, you know,
Happy
take,
Easter.
yeah, happy Easter. Weird, weird way to happy Easter with a show that's about Egyptians and gods and all that. But anyway, but yeah, we're in episode 3. We got 3 more episodes, which is crazy
Yeah.
to think about. And I want to kind of start here. I think this was a very good episode. I think I like that we having a consistent quality of the show. I think I don't know, like how you rank episode 3 for you? Is it your favorite, or is like it's good? It's consistent from the last 2 episodes. Where you're at when now with the
I think
show?
I think I liked it more than the first two.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked the kind of like Indiana Jones vibe from Mark and Layla traveling to um that guy's party and like doing this Steven doing this stuff with the star map he found in the sarcophagus. I thought that was a
Yes,
lot of
yes.
fun. The action scenes were pretty interesting. I loved all of the like mythology stuff that we got here.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I cannot believe I seen this is like the most brutal fight scenes for MCU film,
I
like
don't.
or like since Winter Soldier, right? I mean,
Mm,
he was getting like pale, which is something I wasn't expecting.
yeah, I don't know. Like,
What do you think?
they
Like,
keep calling it brutal, and I don't. I don't think it. I don't know. Like Daredevil and like the Punisher were
hmm,
brutal. Um,
right?
this feels very like
Tame.
sanitized in the way that I would expect from like Marvel Studios. Or like I don't know
Mm,
anything that um, is brutal is like implied off screen, or that you don't get to like
see it.
see like yeah, he was getting stabbed a lot, but there wasn't like blood anywhere because he's
Oh,
wearing the suit
yeah,
that makes him invincible. So it's like it
yeah.
doesn't feel like he's getting like impaled, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's true. I think when he was attacking the guards, and like when he was, like he did his like hero moment of like getting out of those like impale sticks, and like I was like, whoa. But yeah, I understand. Yeah. It's definitely a tame show with the violence. Um, I don't know, like something about it is just like I mean, we're just like nonchalantly like dealing, you know, disorders, and then like we saw it like a kid, like dropping down,
I really
like
liked that one.
okay, because like what do you like that? It,
I
I
It was a good like twist. I feel like, especially from like a Marvel property, I would just expect the kid to like talk at that point.
mm,
So I liked that he like cut the scarf or whatever, and then Contra was just like, "Oh, I thought he would talk." Like I thought
yeah,
that was a good
that
like subversion of what I was
expecting, yeah.
expecting there.
Oh my god, that scene. Yeah, after
Um,
Kanshiro say that line, I was like, "What?"
yeah,
That was pretty dark comedy there, and I love that.
yeah, no, I
Yes,
like that a lot. I liked it showed that Conchi like didn't really care.
yeah, yeah. That's the one thing. I will say that I like this. I think I like this more than the first two, as you say before, Will. Is because of like we got more into who Kanshu is,
Mhm.
and like his relation to the other gods, and like I like we're not only dealing with the distrust of like Mark Spector and like his mind, but also like we're distrusting Kanshu and his like his reason of stopping uh author of restoring what's the name, Emmett, the
on it. Yeah.
Emmett, right? And like I'm not sure I should trust Kanshu because he just, I don't know, like, is he doing this for like heroic reasons or like devious reasons? I'm like,
I don't know. I think we've already gotten Khonshu's like motives, and like I believe everything that we've heard about Khonshu so far. I just think like
mhm,
the morality of his approach to justice is what's questionable.
yeah,
Um,
which is like Batman, basically, but we're dealing with a god who is basically Bat God now.
yeah, and you know his policy on murder is a bit different from Batman.
Oh, yeah, that's true. um, I mean, first off, I mean, like, speaking of Batman, like, we can question whenever Batman beats up, these,
Oh, for sure.
you know,
Like, are you really uh like I don't know, how different morally is killing someone versus like putting them in a wheelchair forever,
yeah,
and
uh,
like completely destroying their ability to live. But
yeah, yeah, and also like having humans as avatars, like
mm,
that
yeah,
part,
yeah, I love that little bit of lore.
yeah, that like, I don't know, some reason that like kind of concerned me of Khonshu and his control on Mark, but
Okay.
I yeah, like that's why I'm saying I'm like kind of somewhat distrusting Khonshu. But then towards the end of the episode, I saw how he like sacrificed, like, just for now him to to get Layla and Mark to the direction where they need to go. But I don't know, like, and it was very interesting to like also see like there's another god that is like a friend to Kanshu. Like
Hmm.
I don't know who was this lady, but she was my favorite part about this episode. Like I actually really like her, and I hope we see her more in the show, maybe,
Hmm.
but we'll see. Um, she helped a lot to see, like she like understand Kanshu, but at the same time she's kind of like with the rest of the gods, like he's going too far of his justice and like what he's doing.
Hmm.
All that was interesting, and like it's just very interesting to see Kanshu just being this kind of like what was one of the gods like, he kind of like reminds me of Ares a little bit, like not like he's like a war or like a god of war, like he's more like he thinks he's doing the right thing, but what he's doing is very unethical,
Hmm.
and it's different from Aries to what Kanshu is doing. I you understand what Kanshu is like. He's trying to keep order and justice, but he's doing it in a very unethical way, and and does get him in trouble, like, especially when uh the main villain totally twists the Chancellor of Gods of what Kanshu is doing. Like I cannot believe he got away from that, and like the trial completely what's the word, like um uh took the wrong turn for Kancho and Mark because they were
Yeah.
hoping they could stop Arthur, from digging up the Amit. So,
Hmm.
which I like that scene too. I really love the scene, and I think that's the best scene for Ethan Hawke as a performer. I love that, and towards the end of the episode where he talks to Kanchu, like I think this is the best episode for Ethan Hawke as an actor in this show. What do you think?
Yeah, so far. Um, yeah, you see more of his like charisma when he's kind of turning the Council of the Gods around.
Yeah, which is creepy, and I mean, like it's cool. Excuse me. It was cool to see. He still respects Kanshu, and like he doesn't like he doesn't like he does blame Kanshu, but he doesn't like it's interesting. Like he blames him for the pain that he deflicted on him when he was his avatar before
Hmm.
whoever before Mark was. And so I'm very intrigued. We're going to see more of that in the next couple episodes. And so I'm very curious about that part. So speaking of Mark, of course Mark is still struggling to control Steven, or like he's having the same thing as Steven was, like he has those blackouts. And I like how they using the blackouts sometimes in this episode, and like kind of just you a little bit like what's going on and all that. And I thought it was all great, and I like some of the more information about Leia. Oh, and the open scene with Leia getting the fake passport was also fun. I liked how we got into like who she is. Like she's, I guess, like a kind of like the black, like the anti Indiana Jones kind of person. Like she tries to get back these relics that are not belong to these people,
Hmm.
and that's very cool, and I love that. And we get a little bit information on like her relationship with Mark, which is really cool. I'm very curious. Let's get into like the big, like, what a WTF was like. Okay, um, we know Arthur, um, Harry or
Hera.
Harold, um, is just mind effing people sometimes when he talks. Like he's tricking everyone and getting into people's heads. And
Mhm.
it was interesting when he brought up, Leia's father, and Mark did something, like Mark knows something about what happened to the fathers because the father is dead. And so I'm kind of curious where we're gonna go there. I think Mark killed her father, and like that's why maybe he wants to get a divorce and keep her away from.
Well, I think he wants the divorce and to create distance,
Mhm.
because Conchi's going to use her as his next avatar.
Yes,
But
that's true. But you think also? Did you think he murdered her father? What do you think? Like,
I
is
think he was like indirectly the cause of her father's death, or like something happened, and
mhm.
I think it's going to be related to how he became Conchi's avatar.
Oh, yes, that's true. Okay. Yeah, because we haven't gone at that. Like, we haven't gone to like origin how he became Moon
Yeah,
Knight.
yeah. I have a feeling we're going to see that in one of the later episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious about that because I don't know when they brought up, her father, and like he was like when we get into like the relationship troubles, when, oh, you know this but you're not telling me this, it's like, okay, it's going to be a big significant thing in the storyline in this series.
Mhm.
So I'm very curious if, as you say before, if he is like indirect of, Leia's father's death, or whatever, and like that maybe it's the reason he became Moon Knight, right? So
Mhm.
I'm very curious about that. Um, okay, so and it's actually kind of cool. Um, this was kind of like the, what is it, like the Loki, like it was it episode 3, and then the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 3. Like we're in one location, and honestly, we were in Egypt, right? That's where
Mhm.
we're at, and I thought this is definitely the most cinematic episode of the show right now. Like I love everything about the production here. I'm very impressed with the music in this scene.
Mhm.
The fight choreography is really great. The CGI is, pretty standard and pretty good for, for a show for Disney Plus. Um, I think this was a top notch level. Because like the first 2 episodes were like in London, you didn't see like the famous. I mean, we did see some famous locations for London, but like it was like very like kind of like soundstage a little bit, and then here it felt more like we're in the real world. Um, I really like it was like self-contained. I'm surprised. I want to talk to you about this. I'm so surprised we haven't yet gotten into like the MCU connections. Like so far, we've been very self-contained, which is
Yeah,
so far good.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. I'm so surprised we haven't like done something that was like like a cameo, or or I mean, like maybe like cool Easter eggs we have when we got the was it the GRF or G
Uh, yeah,
was
I
it
know what you mean.
yeah
I
that
don't. I think it's RF.
yeah
But
RGRF, the group that we got from Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
mhm.
Like everything has been kind of minimalized, like in terms of MCU connections, and I'm very happy about that. And I want to get into that because I before they did the the star map, there was this one scene that there was like a guy talking in the walkie-talkie, and I was thinking to myself, was that John Cheel as War Machine, or was that like one of the bad guys watching over Layla, or Mark going into the desert to like find the star map to Emmett
Um,
Amet.
uh, I
Like,
don't
what do you
remember
think?
that scene.
Like, it was a very quick one. It was like someone was talking to the walkie-talkie and saying like, they're here, or something like that. It was like I don't know, like maybe.
I don't think it was War Machine. Um, I don't remember that.
Oh my god, yeah, it was very quick, but I'm curious if we're gonna have like the mummy thing where there's like a secret society that is keeping, Amit safe, like not be awakened, kind of like
Mm,
how I don't know what the secret society was from the Brandon Fraser movies.
mhm.
um, but maybe we're gonna get that in the next episode or so. Like there's like a secret society that is keeping um Amit not be awakened, and just being asleep for now. Um and I'm kind of curious, like I guess we can get into uh, nitpicks and negatives right now. Like the villain is like is digging a is digging in the desert, and he doesn't know where's still the location of Amit still. Like you think he has the pieces together.
Mhm.
Um and I know that he saw the star map. So is our villain ahead of our heroes now, or like is he behind now? I'm a little
Well, he has the scarab that
scared. Yeah.
guides him, so he's ahead of
Okay.
the heroes.
Okay.
But um, yeah, I was confused about whether or not he knew the exact location because it seemed like they weren't exactly sure.
Yeah.
But I think he's like in the like general location.
General location. Okay. Because if he had the scurv, he should be fine. Like why? Like why he's like? Is he like just striking our heroes, or like he just teasing them? Like I just and then what other thing I and then I'm curious if we're gonna get answer this, like because he's not an avatar. This is another one that I was like kind of curious if you can answer this. He's
Mhm.
not an avatar. He doesn't have a god or avatar, right?
Mhm.
How the heck he get into the chamber, and
Well,
like well,
they
I mean they're
summoned
summoned.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like but they like should the gods should be worried that this is a person that's like he's not a particularly avatar person with a god that is in their circle,
Well, he used to be,
well, yeah, that
so I
yeah,
assume they know who he is.
yeah.
What
um
I what my nitpick is it's related to that.
okay, tell me.
Is how do they not know what he's up to?
Yeah, that's my
Like
another
especially
nitpick.
if they summoned him, like they summoned him from the dig site where he was trying to release Amit. Like you'd think they'd be like, "Oh, where were you coming from?"
Yeah,
Like,
I, I was thinking about that, but then, um, what was it? The lady that like the lady that has the avatar god that knows Khonshu mentioned, or has a Khonshu say that I didn't forget the man of this world like you guys did, or in that. phrasing, like, right?
Mm.
And so like the gods, like they're kind of like, the Greek gods or like the Norse gods in the MCU, where they don't care about the humans, and so maybe they don't care what's going on with author's plan, and like, or maybe there's
I
some. What do you think?
mm.
Like,
I think they don't necessarily care about the humans, but they would care that like someone's trying to free Amit, you know?
mhm, I know, like, I don't know.
Yeah. I
Yeah, that.
you'd think they would take that like possibility more seriously.
Yeah, like I mean, I like that scene where Arthur is like turning the tables on Mark, telling the gods that Mark is not like a well adjusted
Hmm.
person, and like I appreciate that. Like it really turns the tables around, and like
Hmm.
really shows like this is the best Oscar Isaac's performance. It,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like just him being like controlled by Kanshu and saying these words,
Hmm.
and the astral projection, whatever, and like it's all good, but then story plot and just character, like the storyline, it doesn't make sense right now for me, and
Hmm.
like that's concerning me right now. Um, I think I need to know more about these gods. That's also another thing. I I I was kind of surprised we didn't see them like we see Khonshu sometimes, right? In
Hmm.
his form, and I wanted to see how the other gods look like. I
Hmm.
don't know. I kind of wish we need to, and I need to know more about like, is this like a closed group? Like they have certain rules they're not supposed, like if they say they cannot interfere human, excuse me, like human, was it like human nature or like human capacity, then it makes sense why they are doing this trial, and like they're not questioning author's plan right now, because
Hmm.
it hasn't been affected yet, right?
Hmm.
you know like it's like this the Star Trek like Neo thing is like, don't tell me it has happened, it did happen, like kind of thing, where the yes, author is gonna release Emmett, but it hasn't happened yet. Like I don't know, like it's almost like they're waiting for it to happen, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna do something about you and punish you. I don't know.
Hmm.
If not, they're lazy gods. I will say that. Um, okay, and what was the other nitpick? That I was thinking, there was like another one. Um, I like. Oh, how? I guess for me, it's like we're teasing Jake, right? Like we're teasing him quite a bit in this episode.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm just curious where we're gonna take Jake as well as a character. Um, like I I don't know, like I just want to see the third personality already, and then go from there. Like, you think there's gonna be a big moment for Jake to be this important character oral in the story? Like, I I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not quite sure like what their plan is for Moon Knight in the future. Like I know when they announced the show, it was like that was the name that they floated for like these Disney Plus shows that could have multiple seasons, but
Mhm.
closer to the release, they were saying like limited series. Um,
Right.
so I'm wondering, like, if it was like multiple seasons, I could see them like holding off until later to like have
Hmm.
something to explore in a season two. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not quite sure what they're
Um.
doing. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I
And
feel like it'll be sooner rather than later to like keep the season more
yeah.
self-contained.
Yeah. And I think I remember seeing this. Like, apparently, Isaac hasn't signed on to return as a character in future projects.
Hmm.
Like, he did the class. Well, because Feige mentioned last year, during the beginning of phase 4, like they've been kind of eased off with the contracts for these
Okay.
actors. Like, it's not like earlier before, like with Samuel Jackson, like you're signed on for like a certain
Like 10 movies, yeah.
yeah, like that. And so maybe they're gonna do this, and they're gonna be a little more like less strict, or like they're a little lenient on like how many projects they're gonna take, and just like, all right, we'll call you when we want you to be in this project, or there's a potential of your character returning for a film or a series,
Mm-hmm.
So like, like like Loki was maybe the only show that was like, clearly we want this to continue. uh
Yeah. And
you know
I mean, Tom Hiddleston is so invested in the character that
yeah,
I think that was a given.
yeah, exactly. and and then with these other shows is like, um besides Loki, we got Falcon the Winter Soldier. Like, we know Sam Wilson is going to get a fourth. We're going to get a fourth Captain America movie. We got that
Mhm.
confirmed. The showrunner that did that show is the writer. For now, before we maybe get more like other writers to take contribution that project. But then that's it. And there's like some rumors certainly around with Scarlet Witch about she's probably going to have another mini series or limited series for 2023, and a solo film maybe, but that's just like rumors and speculation right now. Because her 60th anniversary is coming up in like in the next year. So anyway, so yeah, so hopefully they get to see a season, because I mean, I think Moon Knight has a lot of potential. I mean, he's Batman basically, right? Like, I
Mhm.
want a Moon Knight playing. I want him to have a Batmobile. I want to see that, and I do want to see, if we're never gonna have a chance to do Jake in this first season. I think it'll be a good time to do it in the second season, and I think that could be a good way. And I think Spectre, the Moon Knight character, has a Rose Gallery as well. So they didn't pick his most famous villain for this season, so we can save him for next season too. So
Mhm.
so they did leave a couple of things we can do for next season. So I just hope that everyone likes the show. That's the
Mhm.
the thing. Um, but anyway, let's kind of like go back to the show. I would say the best thing about this episode was, for me, was the relationship between Mark and Layla. Um, I really like that Layla has been so far a proactive character. I think she's one of the best love interests that we have so far in Phase 4, and I'm very intrigued where she's gonna go. I like her chemistry with the actress chemistry with Oscar Isaac. They really have like that Margaret Kirker and Krista Reeve chemistry,
Mhm.
which is good. I like that the conflict, like their like adult um troubles, or like their disconnect as like a partners are believable, and not like very soap opera like Mary J and Toby Maguire's Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Or like the Jane Foster or Thor thing. Like, I so far been enjoying their relationship, and I'm just curious where we're gonna go with her father, which we already talked about. But I'm just want to get kind of your point. What do you like so far with this relationship, Will, and the show, with Leah and Mark?
Yeah. I like the like conflict between them, and I definitely
Mhm.
like Layla's like relationship with Steven as well.
Yes,
Where
I
she
love this.
like sees the parts of Mark that she like probably fell in love with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love that. It's like, and I almost thought he was gonna freak out when he's like, "We need Steven," and like he broke the mirror of the car. I was like, "Whoa, dude, take it easy." She's just suggesting Steven to help.
Yeah. But I liked that it was like he like agreed and was like fine.
Yeah.
with like doing it. Like he was still mad that he had to do it, but he
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
was like mature enough to be like, fine, I'll do it, and not
Yeah.
like reject it. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't fight
And
it.
yeah, fight it. And look, and he saw the result. Like Steven did help them, and like he was good at it, you know.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Yeah, and then I I yeah, and it's just so sad to see like Mark, you know, he was trying to get away from Layla, and then now his personality got closer to Leia, and it's like he's kind of like this ghost that Leia doesn't recognize, you know,
Yeah.
and distrust too. Like, you know, now that, you know, Arthur brought that father thing up, is like now it adds more attention to the relationship. You know, like the fact that Mark just say, "Oh, look, he just getting into your mind," like he like actively ignored the question that she was asking. You know, like yes, you're in a mission, but like, you know, if you keep that a secret, and like you don't know if Arthur is gonna reveal that to Layla and like trying to trick her to join maybe his side, or you know, like it's just like I think Mark should have been more smarter. You know, it's like, but he's very desperate. And this one of the things I like about this episode. You see him like really struggling mentally, like keep his composure on check. You know, like he has to deal with Khonshu, and then he has also had to deal with Steven, you know, who's like bickering, like he wants his body back and all that, you know. And I just feel so bad for Mark in this episode. Like he's just trying to get this mission on, like get the mission right, but it just gets messed up very fast, which is unfortunate for him. So, but yeah, was there anything else we need to discuss with the relationship that was kind of important to bring up? Um,
I don't know. I think we're gonna see them like kind of repair their relationship, especially like once everything about like her father and like why Mark is trying to be distant are revealed. I think that'll be
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah, no, I agree. Oh, okay, this is interesting. And I guess to like wrap things up, let's bring in some of the MCU references.
Okay.
And the other one was the bodyguard. Oh, the guy that was like the person that was holding the was it the map that they needed? He passed away, I think, this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the memorial special thanks towards the end of the episode. So he was good. I really liked him. I think he was very interesting. I'm very sad that he is no longer with us. So yeah, but his bodyguard, Beck, the henchman for Anton, Mark Marker or Margaret or something like that. He's is a villain, a minor villain from the 1982 run for Moon Knight, issue 18. So that's cool. Obviously, we mentioned there was a big mention of Madripoor uh, from Falcon and Winter Soldier. We saw, so that was cool. And and apparently, they brought up. I guess the guy that passed away, he was like his Joker, called Midnight Man. Uh, a skilled art thief who swears revenge against Moon Knight. So yes, so that was the Joker for Moon Knight.
Well, yeah, a common enemy of or adversary. Yeah.
Yeah, and how weird that it's similar to real life. Anyway, if you get that reference. And then what else? Leia's backstory as well is like it, we mentioned before, she's like a combination of, you know, the Mark love interest from the comics. So I think they're getting it from more from Manly, the actual love interest for the comics. So that's interesting. And then I don't know. My Speaking of Steven is so funny in the show. I love him, and I don't know if did you love the F bomb that was like uh, when when Moon Knight became Mr. Knight, and
Uh-huh.
he does like time out, and he does the F bombs. Like that
Yeah.
was the best F bombs that the MCU did. It was so funny. And I love how he's like, "Oh, okay, you can take back the body again."
Yeah, that was good.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Oh my god, I love Steven, and I'm just so happy that we're getting a lot of him in the show because I just love him. He's so lovable and very just like just out of his place with this whole Moon Knight situation. Um, but yeah, that scene, I just want to bring that up. That was so hilarious. Um, and then the temple they mentioned, this is the introduce of the MCU over uh board. That's what it's called. Um, so it's kind of like a type of, like the throne from Asgard and all that for the gods here,
Mhm.
and then the gods I think we got introduced here was Isis, and then the second one was Osiris. I Okay.
Right.
And then we got Tifunat, Tafanat,
Um,
Tefnut, uh, and then the last one was the Horus. Um, and then the lady we got introduced was I think this is a Black Panther character, apparently, and I think her character's name is Yasuo, right? That's the name, or
I'm not
something.
sure.
I don't think they mentioned the name for this character. Yeah, Yasuo is the avatar to H
Oh, Hathor.
Haftar, yeah, the goddess of music and love. So apparently it's a sibling of the Wakanda's panther god. So we don't know. Maybe this character will pop up in this year's Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. So we'll see. So I just want to bring that up. Um, and what else? Yeah, I think that's it. That's all the references that I caught
Mm.
so far. I mean, there's more we can find, but there's a lot to go. But yes. Oh, and the statue of Khonshu, that was kind of cool to see towards the end.
Yeah.
And creepy as
Mhm.
well. Very sad for him. But overall, great episode. Was there anything else to discuss for this episode 3, Will? I think we got everything, right?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay. Well, Will, 3 more episodes, which is cool. And we're almost there for Doctor Strange 2. Uh, can you believe it or not?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my God,
A
yes.
few weeks, right?
Yes, in a few weeks. I think, what, 3 weeks? So,
Yeah, just about.
yeah. So, oh my God, so excited. So
Mhm.
we can get these rumors off the table because they're becoming insane.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention. I wanna go in without too many spoilers.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm very excited for that. So thank you, Will, for joining me today for this wonderful podcast for Easter.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
yeah. So thank you everyone for listening to this podcast of Moon Knight for episode 3. Of course, me and Will be back for next week for episode 4 of Moon Knight. Have a great Easter, you guys. I hope it's a wonderful Easter and it was beautiful today. So that was great. So bye and have a good weekend.